맘속에 limit time 버튼을 눌러 지금 딱 틱틱틱틱틱 짜릿한 love bomb my love bomb I want it 오묘한 구름이 뻗쳐 I love it 두 눈을 감아보는 시간이 잠시 멈춘 것만 같아 깜짝 놀란 난 숨을 참아봐 이렇게 내 맘을 yeah 가누다 빠빠빠빠빠 뭐가 어려워 저질러봐 하하하게 나 빠빠빠리야 색다른 내 꿈속에 날 만난 그 순간 터져파 뭔가 나를 feels like 좀 달콤한 라라라밤 라라라밤 떨린 내 맘에 날 가득 채운 라밤 라빠밤 라빠밤 난 잠을 깨워 라밤 라빠밤 라빠밤 널 향한 라라라밤 라라라밤 우리 비춰내 이 순간 라밤 라빠밤 라빠밤이 원피다 라밤 라빠밤이 와 Still 라밤밤밤 Hey 라밤밤밤 Turn it up, I put it up 당당하게 내게 더난 다가가 볼까 why 한번 멈춰봐 So what's game 난 족속에 welcome back 너 놀라 나를 봐 바쁜 네 눈빛 속에 나 멈출 수 없는 떨림과 빨라지는 heart like boom 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 달콤한 라라라밤 라라라밤 떨린 내 맘에 날 가득 채운 라밤 라빠밤 라빠밤 네 잠을 깨워 라밤 라빠밤 라빠밤 널 향한 라라라밤 라라라밤 우리 비춰내 이 순간 라밤 라빠밤 라빠밤이 walpita 라밤 라빠밤이 와 Sweet 라밤밤밤 내 품에 안긴 세상은 이미 널 따라 움직여 이렇게 All up baby baby all up 네가 좀 더 아른아른하게 감정 그리워 난 네 맘속에 limit time 버튼을 눌러 지금 딱 틱틱틱틱틱 짜릿한 love bomb my love bomb 소리를 내어 라라라밤 너의 눈빛에 날 담아 지금 love bomb 라빠밤 미주를 라빠밤 맘이 향한 라라라밤 라라라밤 멈출 수 없는 감정 속에 라빠밤이 밀려서 그 라빠밤이 와 Still 라빠밤밤 지금 내 맘속에 머리가 어지럽게 너무 아름답게 All so sweet 라밤밤밤
Good evening. Is my volume too high? No, only very slightly. Welcome back to 11th century Europe, where crusades have not been invented, but I have an entire page of ideas of what I should be doing next as Edda, Kaiserin Edda of the Holy Roman Empire, whom I am currently playing. I'm also slightly behind in setting everything up, so there will probably be a bit of faffage involving putting my IRC client on the correct laptop in a bit. So, Edda has a problem, and her problem is that her successor as Kaiser or Kaiserin of the Holy Roman Empire is not someone of her dynasty. I mean, I suppose technically this isn't Edda's problem, this is my problem, because maybe Edda doesn't care, who knows. But since I'm controlling Edda, I can cause her to care. So the situation is that in the Holy Roman Empire, her successor, all of the electors are voting for Duke Martin of West Frisia, which is not very helpful if you're not Duke Martin of West Frisia. So, what can she do about this? Well, she's been trying to work out how to get... who Duke Houpold the Just, elected as her successor, because he's pretty popular in those realms where he is a valid candidate. As in, he is already her successor as King of Romagna, King of Sicily, and Emperor of Italia. And I tried to arrange to make him eligible by granting him a duchy that was a de jure vassal of the Holy Roman Empire. But this didn't work, and Ian suggested that I should obviously look up the rules for this, because clearly I didn't understand them. And I suggested that I'd obviously read the webpage perfectly well, and I was going to have to actually start digging through the Lua code, or rather data structures that define succession. This was utterly wrong. It turned out I hadn't read the webpage adequately, and now I know why Houpold is not currently a valid candidate. The answer is because Houpold's primary title is still Duke of Capua, as in the leftmost thing in his list of titles is the Duchy of Capua. And until we make his primary title something that's a de jure vassal of the Empire, happiness will not ensue. So, how are we going to do this? Well, it turns out that I have a plan. I have several plans, in fact. So, what are my plans? Right, I'll see Faffage sort it. So, he could somehow change his primary title to the Duchy of Steiermark, but there's no obvious reason why he should do that. We could try to remove the Duchy of Capua from him, which would force his primary title to be the Duchy of Steiermark, but I don't really want to seriously piss him off, plus I'd have to work out how to accomplish it. So my current... But there is another way that we can make his primary title move, which is by giving him a kingdom, because your primary title must be one of the highest ranked titles you own. So if he has a kingdom that's a de jure vassal of the Holy Roman Empire, then that must be his primary title. And conveniently, there are lots of kingdom vassals of the Holy Roman Empire just waiting to be created. Like, if we look at this list, Lotharingia, Bavaria, Carinthia... No, Carinthia? Where's Carinthia? Possibly Carinthia, and certainly Germany, are vassals of the HRE. And Thuringia. So, I think what we should do is probably to create Bavaria, partly because it's a pretty tiny kingdom and de jure vassal of the HRE. It's also de jure liege of the title we've granted him already, the Duchy of Steiermark. So it's even reasonably tidy to grant him that one. So my plan is to grant Houpold the Kingdom of Bavaria, which will, and I say this confidently because I have actually sneakily tested it, make him eligible to be elected as the next Holy Roman Emperor. So let's do that. That's the thing at the top of my list of things to do. So it will gain Edda 400 prestige, cost her 200 gold and 200 piety, both of which she can kind of afford. So Edda has temporarily become Queen of Steiermark, along with all of her other titles. No, Queen of Steiermark, Queen of Bavaria. But now we can find Houpold the Just and grant him the landed title of Kingdom of Bavaria. This will cause him to love Edda even more. He will then become liege of the current Duke of Tyrol. I don't think that's significantly harmful. Let's just quickly check who the Duke of Tyrol is.
If it turns out to be cruel or something.
Well, not so much that as it might be someone who's in my who's like on my council or something. No, I don't recognise him at all. Duke Dioniso the Unready of Tyrol. Right, yeah, well, okay, he loves me for some reason.
I'm ready in the sense that his moustache is ill-advised.
Yes.
Moustaches in this are quite ill-advised.
He doesn't actually love me for any good reason, he just loves me because I'm great. So yeah, I don't think that's a problem. Right, where were we? Hoopold. He's our dynastic heir, so we can find him like this. So grant landed title, Kingdom of Bavaria, vassals going with it, Duchy of Tyrol. Go. Right, he is now King Hoopold the Just of Bavaria. His capital is still down here, but whatever. So now my hope, expectation is that I can nominate Hoopold. Hoopold, King of Bavaria, is now a valid candidate for the HRE. So let's nominate him. There is a slight problem with Hoopold, though, which is that he's 51 years old, i.e. he's 1 year younger than Edda. So while he might outlive Edda and inherit the empire, I'm still a little worried. So I'm not sure whether to do it now, but I have found Count Antonio of Kulm, who is a Dispoleto, a German Dispoleto, a German genius Dispoleto. Indeed, a German genius Dispoleto with a nice large number of children. So he would make quite a good candidate. He is only 29, so he's a bit on the young side at the moment. But I am kind of tempted to make him a candidate as well. I'm kind of going, is it actually worth doing that now, though, or do we just save him? Well, if we do it now, then by making him a duke, we'll get him more prestige, which will make him a more tempting candidate.
It will probably also allow him to increase his piety a bit as well.
Yeah. So I think I'm inclined to make Antonio also a valid candidate. There is actually an interesting thing.
I mean, the thing is, 29 is also, they prefer sort of 30 to 40-year-olds.
Yeah.
Usually. But 29 is so close to 30 that he'll be there soon enough. And it's it's a 20-year age gap, which is more or less what you want.
So yeah, there is another interest. He is currently the heir to the Duchy of Prussia anyway. Oh, but the Duchy of Prussia is not very helpful. So ideally, we probably want to give him a duchy title that isn't Prussia. And we do have a duchy title lying around. Yeah, go on. So we've got Curetien, which is de jure vassal of Germany and hence of the Holy Roman Empire. So, yeah, I think we should create that as well. Cheaper because it's only a duchy, so it only costs 117 gold, which we can afford. And we should grant that to Count Antonio of Kulm, because he certainly ought to be quite a popular candidate. I mean, I, again, from testing, know that he's not quite good enough to immediately be electable. So, right, he is now Duke Antonio of Curetien. He is wounded. He'll presumably thus become scarred. Oh, he's already scarred, which is good for his prestige as well. And we'll see how that goes. So, there is another thing that I did. This one is a fair amount of research. My first two children, Edda's first two children, are not being very useful in terms of producing grandchildren. Princess Inga has no children. Prince Dietvin has no children. Princess Brynhilda is doing her very best, despite only being 17, to compensate for her elder sibling's uselessness, and already has a son out of wedlock by the name because her husband is slightly younger than her. So she was not going to wait for her husband. Tietmar von Plume was born before she was married, and is thus not a Dispoleto, and thus not of a lot of use to us. Uta Dispoleto, on the other hand, is Edda's legitimate granddaughter, which makes her somewhat interesting because she is someone. One thing I found in the advanced marriage guide on the wiki
Yes.
is that in general, children and grandchildren of the reigning monarch are, or rather daughters and granddaughters of the reigning monarch, are relatively easy to get matrilineal marriages for, whereas for anyone else it's next to impossible. So Uta should be, I think, a target for getting a matrilineal marriage to someone brilliant and preferably someone either brilliant or likely to inherit a vassal title of the HRE, so that we can get more Di Spoleto candidates. Because our problem has been, I mean, admittedly, I fixed this at least for now by other means. Our problem has been that that we don't have enough good candidates, and so I explored quite a lot, and I found someone by the name of Gerlach von Babenberg in Nordgau. I wonder where Nordgau is.
On the north coast.
You might very well think that.
I'm mixing it up with somewhere.
But this is the Duke of Nordgau. Gerlach the Cruel. And Nordgau uses Gavelkind, so in general the eldest son will inherit the primary title. He only has one title, so the next Duke of Nordgau will almost certainly be Tietmar von Babenberg. And after him, the next Duke of Nordgau will almost certainly be young Gerlach von Babenberg. So this guy is likely to inherit a duchy that's a
Valid type thing of the what that, yes.
So, but
he will be a valid candidate.
So he will be a valid candidate for HRE unless someone goes and changes the rules in Nordgau. Moreover, what? Okay, last time I tried this, that worked. Right? Why is Gerlach now too high in the line of succession when he wasn't before? Okay, that's annoying. That worked last time. Okay, I may have to explore why. No wonder he looked like such a good candidate. Let's unpause briefly, because maybe I did it after some time had passed and something had happened. Is there anything else in my list? So I have a few other notes for myself, some of which might be useful. So what do we have here? I have a note that says, also second in line for Duke of Krain to Egbert or Gerlach. What was I thinking there then? Let's have a look. Who's Egbert and Gerlach are, I think, kids in my Di Spoleto kids in my court who are not my offspring, I think. Search court for Egbert. So yes, Egbert Di Spoleto, he has good genetic properties. He's strong, which gives you +5 vassal opinion and various other random stuff. So it would be nice to find him a good marriage. And my notes say second in line for Duke of Krain. Okay, what did I mean by that, I wonder? So here is the Duchy of Krain. It operates by Gavelkind.
If you click on the shield, you'll get the list of...
Yes. And Marietta di Verona, who might possibly inherit, is also attractive, which is nice. So as a kind of outside chance of inheriting something good, and of inheriting is that actually a vassal title of the HRE? Yes, of inheriting a de jure vassal of the HRE, and also breeding attractive into the line, Dispoleto, into a Dispoleto line. I think she is interesting. So I think we have Eckbert and Gerlach. Let's go for Eckbert for her, and then we should see what my other idea was. So my other idea says ditto, second in line for Duchy of Alsace. So even I know roughly where Alsace is. You say it's getting it wrong repeatedly.
Where Alsace started out before de jure drifted as such.
Yes. Duke of Alsace. So here similarly, I presume Agata is no, wrong button. I'm getting lost. That's the one I want. Is second in line. Yeah, she's not got any good properties, any good attributes though, any good traits though. Well, it's probably worth it anyway. She doesn't murder people inside her realm. Point of principle. Her successor might. Right, well, let's unpause. Oh, I have another note, a very vague note that says, marry some foreign male Dispoletos to Inga of Capua. Okay, probably singular, foreign male Dispoleto. Who's Inga of Capua then? Is she also someone in my court? Inga af Capua. Sorry. Yeah, okay, she's kind of alright if I can find her. I just have a note that says foreign male Dispoleto. Okay. Wonder if I can find one of those. So search all. Great house, mine. Married, no. Sort by age. Is there any one of these that I go, yeah, obviously I want to get someone to marry them. Gerlach's in my court. Ideally, I don't want it to be a genius, because genius and bright and quick don't combine very well. Seem to be a bit short of foreign male Dispoletos, to be honest. Certainly any really interesting ones. Oh well, who's the eldest who's still a child? Guntram. So can I offer you Inga af Capua? Yes. Will you accept? Yes. We might be able to improve our chances with that other one by should expect Norga. Anyway, yes, by adjusting by improving the guy's opinion of me. Well, anyway, propose that Inga and Guntram get married as well. Right. So let's just go back to the Nordgau thing and see if we can see how. I forgot what it was. Is it there? Yes. Oh no. I'm going to have to actually search for it because I can't remember where Nordgau is. I can only remember it's not on the north coast. His opinion of me is already 83 though. Maybe I was just confused and that can't work.
Yeah, you might have accidentally gone in again a second time but failed to click the matrilineal box.
Okay, who have I got who's... So let's have a look at... Oh, we've already been doing things in crime. Oops, no, not that one. That one. So Matteo d'Auvergne is somewhere completely other though. He's in Corsica. I think he's just in line because weirdness. Otherwise you've got a bunch of like second sons under Gavelkind, which might work. Actually, let's go for this guy because I don't know whether he's going to inherit anything good or not. Let's have a look at his family tree. That give me confidence? Not really. So another possibility would be in Mecklenburg. Again, according to my notes. I did, of course, stop looking when I found the one that I thought worked. Wiegerich, who is the second son of the current Duchess, this guy, I think we can get a matrilineal betrothal to Ute, yes. Because he's not the immediate heir, that being his elder brother. Oh, go on, it's at least slightly useful. Let's unpause and let some things happen. Because I've now run out of ideas, more or less. King Hubold the Just has destroyed the title Duchy of Steiermark.
Oh, that's slightly useful.
Because I can now create it again, yes. Duke Eberhard the Tenacious has become new Duke of Baden. Intriguing. Possibly not very helpfully, but everyone is, as is traditional, leaving the defensive pact. And a couple of messages about titles that I just created. So, right, that's better. King Hupold the Just is now my successor as is now heir to the Holy Roman Empire, in addition to being heir to the Empire of Italia, the Kingdom of Sicily, the Kingdom of Romagna, and the Duchy of Latium, and probably other things as well. So in the event of Edda's untimely death, he will be there to take over. I appear not to have a Chancellor, which is a slightly unfortunate situation. I appear not to have any spectacular candidates lying around even. Edda's former lover Jakob is available, but only 18 diplomacy is not spectacular. Especially when there's an Anglo-Saxon guy with 24 diplomacy available. I mean, the current, probably, Duke of Mallorca is a consequence of my previous Anglo-Saxon guy with terrifying diplomacy. I mean, he's like several generations on, but Edgefrith of Northumbria, the various Edgefriths of Northumbria have who have been there, yes, since Gregory the Thin-Minded created the duchy in 971. Have well, I mean, these days they don't have much by way of diplomacy, 0, for instance. But yes, they basically came about because I granted my Chancellor that duchy. Just again, everyone leading the defensive pact. Yes. Old wine, sorry. Welcome to my court. Usually I set my Chancellor to improving people's opinion of me. That's not what I wanted. Like the Duchy of Milan's a bit low. Tuscany more so. Let's go for Tuscany. And Florence. So yes, the Duchy of Steiermark has now come back into my list of creatable titles just in case I need it for something. How are things going for the poor High Chief of Greater Poland? Oh, that's an intriguing war. We'll look at that in a moment. So, the poor High Chief of Greater Poland is down 29% in his war against Duchess Emma of Lausitz, vassal of the Holy Roman Empire, 49% in his war against Duke Ulrich of Brandenburg, vassal of the Holy Roman Empire, and 4% down in his war against Duke Przemil II of Pomerania, who is also a vassal of the Holy Roman Empire. Plus, he's in 3 other wars, which he is also, I think, losing all of. Yes. I observe that King Hupold the Just of Bavaria has just declared war on Hungary. Well, that's a brave move. He has decided that he wants to take Wien back, because Wien is de jure part of the Kingdom of Bavaria. So yes, he has decided that this patch here should be his, and he is going to start nibbling. No, he doesn't actually Oh right, yes, he got a he does have some land up there because he got a vassal duke up there, didn't he? Yes. I mean, the fact that the King of Hungary is currently at war with Bulgaria and Moravia, and slightly bizarrely, the Company of the Hat, who are invading Croatia.
It's really impressive.
Yes, I mean, I didn't even know that mercenary companies could do that.
Yeah. I'm not quite sure what the figures are, but I've certainly seen it.
The Hat invasion of Croatia. Currently winning. Right. I presume that's mostly over this patch of Venetian territory here. Well, that's intriguing. Are we going to actually get like a landed mercenary company there? So yes, I think that's Bavaria taking advantage of a rather busy neighbour to get in there and accomplish something. Count Dietvin of Upper Silesia, who is mostly my who is mostly here, mostly my court chaplain, in order to get him extra piety, so that he might one day be a good candidate for Holy Roman Emperor. Has successfully converted some random courtier to Catholicism. Well done, sir. Yes, he's down trying to fix the fact that the bits of territory that we captured off the Holy Roman Empire are all the wrong language. Religion. Various people keep seeking to kill various other people. So I think at this stage I'm mostly waiting for time to pass and seeing if interesting things happen. We have a new young genius di Spoleto, Hildeberg di Spoleto. She is not in any way a close relation of Edda. So probably we either find someone good who's who's in line for something, or slightly offline for something, or we just marry her for her genius to someone strong or genius or some such. So let's just bonk that button and see how it goes. No obvious strong or genius matrilineal marriage candidates.
Yeah, but you can afford to wait a number of years.
Yeah, can, technically, yes.
And then there might be some that come along.
It appears that young genius boys are mostly not in favour of Christianity. I mean, we appear to have Amadeus von Kirchberg, who's like in the HRE. All right. Well, that said, oh, sorry, was I confused? It says courtier in the Holy Roman Empire, but it actually is courtier in the county of Paderborn. And of course, yes, the problem is that Hildeberg is unimportant, and therefore hard to marry matrilineally to anyone who has a decent title.
Well, you can of course try to marry her to count level things to get more generally good male dispolators at some point in the future.
Do you mean to a count level di Spoleto? Or
No, I mean matrilineally married.
okay,
to
do you
count
think?
or count's heir. She might, because count's heir they might take. You might not.
I mean, he's not even an heir. For reasons I don't currently understand.
I mean, you can marry her to another dispolator, but there are risks.
But even there, we get. There we in fact get. He's too close a relationship because they want a non-aggression pact. If I say Great House, no. This guy presumably will fail for other reasons, like wrong religion. Will not consider offers from infidels. And then, the youngest genius halfway available is Bishop Thomas of Saint-Jean-Baptiste, which has certain slight problems with arranging marriages. Namely, that he's a bishop. Ragnar, Mayor of Stornoway. What's his excuse? His excuse, even he, a mere mayor, is of the opinion that she is too unimportant. A lowborn mayor. So, do we need a Christian Christian unlanded lowborn character? Let's try that. No, even then she's too unimportant. So well, I think we should just marry her to someone who's conveniently in our court, then. Bertil Kven, for instance. Chiefess Yvonne of Halland accepted King Leopold of Frisia's peace offer. So that means that... Oh, right, the revolt against the rule of King Leopold of Frisia. Oh, was he the guy I got excommunicated to make sure he wasn't a candidate for HRE. Yes, he won that. He managed to fend off that revolt, though. That's presumably part of the consequences of his being. That was, I think, the King Bishop of France joining the Defensive Pact. Yes. Oh, High Chief Leszek of Greater Poland has been imprisoned by Duchess Emma of Lausitz. Well, that should be good for her war score.
You're 100% now.
100% in favour of Duchess Emma of Lausitz. Well done, Duchess Emma. You have enlarged the empire, or at least you're going to very shortly. Hurrah! My new court chaplain is doing all right. I am pleased to report the success of my mission to Consensa. The majority of the population have been converted to the Catholic faith. Your humble court chaplain, Prince Dietfin of the Holy Roman Empire. Now properly Catholic, not Orthodox. Right. In that case, off you go one county further south. That's the wrong button, apparently. Von Gregerson has come of age. That's nice. Ditto this woman. Mostly interested in what's going on in our wars up here. Duchess Gerhild of Thurgau. Oh, she's got a nice high martial score. Excellent. A trade post has been built in Santiago. That's nice. I'm not sure I really needed to know that. Right, High Chief Leszek of Greater Poland has accepted Duchess Emma of Lausitz's peace offer, been released, and Duchess Emma of Poland has won the Holy War for Silesia, which I think mostly gained her the county of Lower Silesia. Count Jacek, I presume, was already there and gets to keep it because he's Catholic. So that's one more county added, threat up to 98%. Okay, if the Duchess of Mecklenburg wants to fabricate a claim on the county of Mecklenburg, I suppose she can. Right, so that one's up to 74%. The Brandenburger Holy War for Greater Poland. Three more people rejoining the Defensive Pact. There is a Salernian revolt, apparently. So why have I got so many people I can imprison then? She's apparently behaved dishonourably towards me. Right, okay. She's also like wife of a Dispolato. I don't want to imprison her. King Leopold of Frisia, well, yes, that's because I had him excommunicated, but I don't think there's a lot to be gained by imprisoning him as well. Blasi of Provence has also acted dishonourably, apparently. Duchess Louisa of Tuscany. What's this dishonourable stuff people keep doing behind my back? I don't know. Count Gotthard is leader of plot, but it's a very silly plot. Duke Gerlach the Cruel is the leader of a plot to assassinate Count Berthold of Verdun. Okay. You're the guy whose grandson I was hoping to betroth my granddaughter to. And I'm sure I'll have another... Oops, I accidentally locked him up. I didn't mean to do that. Wrong button. Sorry, Duke Gerlach. I'll let you out in 5 minutes' time and grab the piety bonus for it. Oh, right. That's the button. That's the release from prison button. I mean, I could theoretically ransom him instead and claim 145 gold from him. But presumably he'll still be excommunicated when he comes out again. Oh no, he wasn't excommunicated. This was a plotting one, wasn't it? And he'll have stopped plotting when he was inside. Okay, yeah, well, we'll charge him 145 gold for having plotted against someone. One of my bishops has died, looks like. It is weird that when a married man becomes a bishop, his wife accompanies him to his new bishopric, and is then their marriage is immediately annulled. And then she's stuck there.
I think you've just described the thing that happened to that pig at the last campfire.
Right, it looks like I can actually ransom some of the prisoners I got in the last, in a recent war. Or possibly one of them, anyway. Mario Di Capua has been murdered. That's unfortunate. He had a very silly name. His wife also died under suspicious circumstances. Right, so yes, we've lost one of our commanders, and thus Lothar di Spoleto has no guardian. Right, let's sort out the commander situation first. We also need a new keeper of the swans and master of the hunt and such like. Alright, we need a new commander because Adam has just inherited a bishopric and has thus been accidentally fired as a commander. Right, come back, Adam. Not so much forgiven, but yeah, something like that. Well, you can, but I think he changed the criterion under which he was eligible to be a commander from being in my court to being a landed vassal, and somehow in the process of that lost his commander post.
Well, I think they tend to automatically de-commander bishops when they're made bishops and then give it back to them.
Yes.
That, theoretically, they should probably not be being violent states sometimes.
But like, this is my standard approach to making sure my commanders don't piss off, is make them bishops. Look, most of my commanders are bishops.
Yeah,
Indeed, currently I only have one unlanded commander.
Yeah, I mean, it's just that, they have to have the opportunity to pretend to be holy, that's right.
Only for a few days. And indeed, what I should now do is make Stratimir Savayov the candidate for all the low-end bishoprics that I have spare. Bishop Adam should be disqualified from all of these. No, do not make your husband a bishop. That will not end well.
Well, I mean, it's less of a problem now as such, because you're not trying to get pregnant.
No, but he'll still stop being my husband, and he has good traits for being
Yeah, I mean, that is...
husband,
So
for being Kaiser.
you can, of course, replace him with a more streamlined model.
Well, I suppose so.
I mean, there's no need to piss them off like that unless you have to.
Okay, where's my Stratimir? Sort by name, it's the easiest way to make sure you can find someone. There he is, right. So when the next bishop dies, Stratimir will get the job. Meanwhile, I apparently have a couple of slots open for minor titles open. So I think the first thing should be try to get, well, I mean, Hoopold's probably doing all right anyway. He's not doing that all right, actually. Let's get him some more, give him a minor title if I can. Let's make him my Master of the Hunt, because that will be good for his prestige. Adriano d'Este. Oh, he's already got an honorary title. How about the Duchess of Tuscany? Can she be... Oh, she can be my Keeper of the Swans. Excellent. Which will improve her opinion of me. Right, and there's a child who wants childing. Lothar di Spoleto, who is like perfectly ordinary but married to a quick, or betrothed to the quick Agatha Agiros. He's my nephew, so probably mostly need to find someone like halfway reasonable. Don't worry too much about it. Oh, let's go for Philibert for no good reason. Right. I was trying not to accidentally arrest people. So this guy is a leader of a plot to kill some Count Aleardo of Ferrara. Okay. Princess Adalberta is plotting to kill Vzebor of Capua. Okay. Count Burchard of Baden is fabricating a claim on the Duchy of Baden. Keep it up. Duchess Christine of Mecklenburg is plotting to fabricate a claim on the County of Mecklenburg, which is just weird. And Duke Eberhard the Tenacious is plotting to fabricate a claim on the County of Baden. Well, let's just let most of them to it. I don't think I really want to arrest them unless I want to gratuitously extract money from them. Which I just did from one of them. What did that do for his opinion of me then? Yeah, we do seem to have a minus 50 opinion penalty for having imprisoned him. Minus 30 opinion penalty for having imprisoned him. So yeah, I should try not to do that to people whose opinion of me I care about. And of course, those people who can pay a decent ransom are precisely the ones whose opinion of me I care about. Pretty much. Okay, can we ransom any of the others? No, he's run out of money now. Well, we got one of them out of our dungeon. Wulfhilda di Spoleto is also not a very close relative of mine and is very little interest. Let's leave her lying around doing nothing for now. Okay, someone's planning to kill him for some reason, or possibly he's the one doing the killing, I'm not quite sure. So, right, they're suffering from rebels as well. So, yes, Venice are defending against the Company of the Hat and against the Tsar of Bulgaria. Who is, I think, also among those... Oh, right, yes, and that's the same... Those two wars that Hungary are in are actually Venice's wars, really. So, yeah, whether Hupold has a chance, I really don't know. But we can watch them and see what happens. Here is the Company of the Hat handily winning a battle.
I cannot see. My vision is impaired.
Yes, I think that might be how it works. My son Eckhart has a tender and loving soul, trusting everyone in the castle. Do we give him diplomacy and make him kind? Or do we praise him, or do we gain some piety with a small chance that he'll become envious instead? I think we'll grant him that extra diplomacy. I'm sure that will be good for him. So, various tax-related things. Well, most of Greater Poland is now occupied by the Duke of Brandenburg or the Duke of Pomerania. Count Manuel of Passau has accepted Duke Gregory of Angria's peace offer, which means the Angrian civil war for elected monarchy has ended in white peace. That's good. I really didn't want them to end up with elected monarchy, but there wasn't anything I could do about it. Well, I suppose there could have been. I could have donated money to the cause of the one who I wanted to win. Kaiser Niels has arrested an armed man with ragged armour and a spotty horse. He says that the man claims to be a hedge knight, but clearly does not believe that statement.
Spotty horse. I'm sure they have a zillion more technical terms for that.
He's highball, but he's saying spotted horse in order to make the horse sound ratty and useless, and therefore this guy is suspicious.
So I can order the hedge knight released, which is good for my piety, annoys Niels and loses him prestige, or declare that he's clearly a bandit. I haven't got much piety, and I think I nominally have an ambition to improve my piety. So let us take the piety. Oh yes, I was going to notice or point out something. Oh, the county of Upper Silesia has been converted. Oh, everything's going spling. Right. Okay, we'll point out the thing a bit later. So we have a new Prince Archbishop of the Rhine, who is a Di Spoleto. Excellent. Prince Archbishop Karlmann was not a Di Spoleto. It's thus a good situation. We need to find a new candidate to be the next Prince Archbishop of the Rhine. The county of Upper Silesia here has finally become Catholic, which is good. and thus poor Clara has lost her husband. Indeed, according to this, she never had one. According to this, she totally did. Because Guerino di Spoleto is now a bishop. What I really want is to work out if I can get someone married, betrothed to her.
Disappeared her husband in a time paradox.
Yes.
Grandfathers.
Sadly, I don't have like any adult Di Spoletos to betroth to her. I mean, I suppose I could just like drag her back to my court, married to someone, in the hope that she'll produce some genius children who'll be useful later. Are there any of these traits that are obviously good for fertility? I don't think there are. So I don't think it really matters. Let's just propose to marry her to... she's 34. Let's propose to marry her to the 39-year-old because he's the closest in age. I can always make him a bishop if I want to get them separated again. So...
It just suddenly occurs to me that the use of this strategy of making everyone a bishop in order to solve every problem could be reasonably described by the slogan, see it, say it, sorted.
Thank you, Simon. So, Elizabeth Di Spoleto has become a grey eminence, is betrothed to my courtier Salomon, who is a genius. Let's make sure they actually get married. Clara Zitsika or something has come back after leaving. Meanwhile, we should work out who we're next nominating for bishoprics, for high-level bishoprics. Probably don't want Guerino as to get another bishopric, so we want... I mean, I think the right thing is probably older Di Spoletos. Who are likely to vote the right way in at least Bremen and... Which are the current electors? So, Swabia, those two I don't control directly. Bremen, only Swabia and Bremen who are the actual voting ones. We also have Trier and Köln, but those are not very helpful because they are not my direct vassals. So Swabia and Bremen, we want to suggest, I think, a random elderly Di Spoleto. Philibert's as elderly as it gets, weirdly. But like his wife is now past childbearing age, so it's not a serious problem if we stuff him in. I mean, he has no children somehow, but if we stuff him into a bishopric. So let's also make sure that Philibert is heir to Swabia. Manfredo is notably already a Dispoleto. Guarino is a Dispoleto, but that was probably a mistake. Well, let's nominate Stratumir to that one as well, just so that we're still in control. One of my prisoners has become a detached priest in the while in prison.
That's surely obscure Git terminology.
Okay, who's Duchess Gerhild at war with? She's at war with Arl in an attempt at claiming Bern. Right, okay. How are you doing with this war then? How many wars are you in now, Greater Poland? Nine.
That's a number of wars.
That one's up to 89%. So Duke Ulrich of Brandenburg is doing a pretty good job. I mean, like, Greater Poland actually controls a bunch of territory up here, which is, I think, where most of those wars are happening. It's only our wars that are in his, like, homeland. So how is the Company of the Hats bid to... 45%. How's our war against Hungary going, I suppose? Not really ours as such. Still 0. Looks like Greater Poland is attempting to besiege something back. Oh, well, that was quick. Well, do the third county then. Right, so Richarda asks, my friend Richarda di Spoleto asks, where do heathens come from? So, I have 3 potential answers. Heathens are people just like us, which will make her either kind or honest or gregarious. All of which are pretty good for a rulery type, though she may well not become one. We can say they are demons from hell, in which case she will become either zealous or wroth or cruel. Or we can go they are men like us but unbeliever enemies, which will give her just or wroth. Well, I like just. So I think I'm going to make her go for they are men like us but unbeliever enemies, so that she becomes just.
The curious thing is, only one of those answers actually said where they come from.
Yes. Everyone is joining the defensive pact against the Byzantine Empire, Holy Roman Empire. This is, oh, there's some messages. Oh, it's feast time. Excellent. Yes, hold a feast. And possibly I did one last year. Okay, yes, my truce with Venice is about to expire. Yes, pay the jongleur or whoever that was. Trude von Schwarz seeks to kill Cecile the Unfaithful. So why am I having him shown to me instead? That's Cecile the Unfaithful. With a mysterious one mysterious son, one daughter who is definitely a daughter of Gerlach the Cruel. I can kind of imagine why Duchess Truda is trying to kill her, yes. Aha! High Chief Leszek of Greater Poland accepted Duke Ulrich of Brandenburg's peace offer. Oh dear, where has Greater Poland gone?
What happened with our 8 wars?
Oh well, I mean, he still has plenty of territory further north, but like the large lump round here. Brandenburg, a holy war for Greater Poland has ended. Duke Ulrich II of Brandenburg won. So the war, the Pomeranian Holy War for Greater Poland, is still going on. I don't know if that will become invalid. Send out the invitations. Duke Gerlach the Cruel is busy. So is Prince Dietwin, apparently. Bah. Indeed, very few of my vassals are going to turn up to this one.
You have like a squee in though, don't you?
50 apparently,
Yeah, like so.
out of my vassal limit.
2 or 3 not turning up is like no big deal.
Yeah, true. It's going to be a great feast. Threat back up to 99.7% because we've just taken over quite a lot of Greater Poland. Welcome to my feast. The Queen of Norway has joined the Defensive Pact. Oh, hello, Duchess Christine. I started talking to one of my guests at the feast and found them most interesting. Hours flew by, wine bottles were emptied, other guests excused themselves and went to bed, but we kept talking until the wee hours. Excellent. It is very good to make a friend in this game, because it gives you basically 100% plus 100 opinion from that vassal forever. Don't think I can make friends by inviting people for private conversations, can I? I can turn them into lovers, but that's not always what I want. Excellent. Ah, right, yes, that's what she's doing here, isn't it? Ricciarda di Spoleto. Is that what she's doing here?
What has she done here?
She's a daughter of... Maybe it's not what she's doing here. Maybe I'm just randomly teaching her. She's a daughter of the Pope. No, I think she just happens to be here. There is someone I am trying to turn I mean, like, it's nice that she's turned German, mind. There is someone where I'm actually trying to turn, like, 2 generations down German. It's Duke Inigo of Bavaria, who is German. Excellent, good. That was one of the things I was trying to accomplish. Noting the confusing thing that the Duchy of Bavaria is not de jure or de facto a vassal of the Kingdom of Bavaria. They don't overlap. Okay, some things have happened. I'm just peering at this guy whom I can imprison. I'm going, probably don't want to. Yeah, similarly there. Oh, Adam of Posada has died. That's sad. Prince Eckhart has become a misguided warrior. Did some idiot not give him a good person to teach him for the last phase of his training by any chance? Yes, I think I might have done. Stoat face.
This guy is warrior seems particularly bad. I mean, I think you want a warrior, you can at least point them in the right direction
Yes.
to look towards the enemy.
Oh well. And now that I'm getting he's unlanded. Yes, well, I'm not like, I mean, I can get him a county if I put a bit of effort in. More seriously, the bishopric of Posada has become vacant, or not become vacant, has been inherited by Stratimir, my commander, so I need to reappoint him as a commander and then work out who I lost, or rather I've lost a commander as well who was the previous bishop of Posada, so I should probably recruit myself a new decent commander. Reset. Remove the filter. Who will join my court? Is male, sorted by martial ability. That's not very good. So let's see, I have 3 siege leaders and 2 organisers, so I don't need any special abilities. Lydine desires to get married. Presumably if I were to appoint him as a bishop, he would object to that then. But he does have the best martial skill we can easily get. Cavalry, we can get a cavalry leader with only 21. I think actually I would go for that for preference. Then we're down to 20 and 19. Yeah, let's invite the cavalry leader. Goodness, Yarkun's died as well. Married to Princess Adelheid. Who's my other ward anyway? Richarda, who is only 8, so there's not an imminent danger that I need to give her to a different person to finish her upbringing. Um, so I've invited a new thing. Commander. Have we got a good... Inglebert's pretty good, actually. I think we should just appoint him. That wasn't right. Research economy tech in Capua. Thank you. Right, I'm waiting for my commander to arrive, yes. Thank you. Please become a commander. He doesn't like me. He'd like to get married, though. Maybe we can make him like me just by finding him a wife. I mean, I have no idea who I want to marry him to. I suppose if I'm like marrying someone for where I don't care what their children turn out like, I want to do this. Might be a case of finding someone who has children who will come with them to my court, who will then be useful for something. That's just too complicated for me. Let's go for a random genius and see if she's of any use. She's only got one son, and he's Magnus di Spoleto. Well, it'll do.
Good night.
His opinion of me has been improved because I fulfilled his marriage wish, but not so far that he actually wants to convert to Catholicism. Okay, let's bribe him. He's unlanded, so it's cheap. We have a bunch of places where we need to appoint successors. So Philibert is appointed as a successor in everywhere that has that's an elector candidate. I mean, we want actually to appoint council members simply because that will also cause them to be likely to stay here. So let's just give my spy master a bunch of opportunities. I mean, I suppose if I spread this around, then I don't have to organise things quite so much each time. Not my husband. So, like, am I getting any penalty for unlanded sons without? No. So I don't quite know why this is complaining that I have an unlanded son. New Count of Bologna, apparently. Alright, for some reason the Count of Bologna is my direct vassal. So ideally, he should be a vassal of the Prince Archbishopric of Ferrara. Better. That's presumably because he actually holds the county of Ferrara himself. No. What's going on with the county of Ferrara then? Alright, oh, you're for some reason a vassal of Modena. Okay. Poppo von Babenberg is trying to kill Prince Bishop Dietrich of Trier. Okay, I'm not sure I really mind. Right, because Poppo von Babenberg will become the next Prince Bishop of Trier if he does that. Right, okay. Right, we're now getting he is too old votes, penalties against Houpold. So possibly we should at some point fairly soon... Oops. Wonder what that message was. Duke Engelbert is no longer steward because he has died. That's a pity. We have Alfonso, who looks pretty decent. How are various wars going then? That's true. I suppose that'll answer the question. Answer the question. 60%, still progressing slowly. A murmur was heard through the room when I judged the felon to death. It was a just sentence, if perhaps a bit harsh. Gain 15 prestige, like that's going to be noticeable. I suppose there might be some benefit in landing Eckhart, but I don't have any counties I really want to give away, so I might have to plot one off someone. Usually involves like actual war and stuff. Got lots of counties I can revoke. Rather interestingly, I could take the Duchy of Curetienne off, and several other things off the Duke of Culm. I think that would be rude. Duke Aldrich of Trier controls Luxembourg, which he has no good reason for. And Heinrich of Kärnten controls Graz, which he has no good reason to control. Now the Count of Provence controls Forcalquier. I'm most inclined to take back Foggia again, because we've done that once. Yeah, let's take back Foggia so I can give it to my next son. See if we can get one of these done without a war for once. Another Gianleone di Spoleto, who has become a brilliant strategist and is married to, is betrothed rather, to Duchess Gerhild of Torgau, which is excellent because it will mean that Torgau ends up under held by a di Spoleto probably. Oh yes, the interesting thing. So the current Duchess of Croatia, which is a vassal of the HRE, is married, well, was previously married to a Nubian Muslim, is now married to a Berber Muslim, and thus her heir is actually Muslim. And he is heir to the Duchy of Croatia. So I'm not quite sure how that's going to work with him as my vassal. He is independent otherwise? Or maybe because he's independent, he will actually... because he is currently an independent duke, he will remain an independent duke when he inherits that duchy. So possibly that actually means that this small section will split out and become independently Muslim, and everyone around will holy war it simultaneously. How's the Hat invasion going? Well, the Company of the Hat do control at least some Venetian territory now. %, in their favour. Well, let's wait for those to finish collecting. Right, we have a stupid number of people who agree with me. Hurrah! Right, we now have a di Spoleto married to the current Duchess of Turgau. So we have a stupid number of people backing my plot to revoke the County of Foggia. So I suppose we should do it. And see if he'll accept. My liege, my mission to Florence has been a success. During my visit to the court of Duchess Louisa of Tuscany, I seem to have managed to make her understand what a benevolent and peaceful ruler you really are. Her opinion of me improves by 20 for many years. Sigh. Why do we always have to go to war for these? Which means that he's temporarily independent. Pause, Ben. Temporarily independent, and so my court chaplain can't try to convert anyone in his court. So, yeah, right, they've got an organiser. I mean, I probably need more troops than that. That'll probably be enough, though they'll have to wait until their morale improves a bit. I suppose, given where we are, also raise those and those. Duke Hans of Saxony has usurped the title County of Lüneburg from Eichenfried Ludolfinger, who I think Hupoldinger, who I think is his own son. Okay, if you want. This is his heir. Oh, okay, he's not his son. That makes slightly more sense. Select those two, who are the two useful ones. Stomp them in this kind of direction in the hope that they might actually... Stomp them in that kind of direction. See if we can intercept that lot. Yes, the Calabrian army have already got into a fight. Our random Slavic pagan vassal has, well, our previous one has died, and we thus have a new one. Wonder if we can persuade him to convert to. Can't do that while he's at war. Okay. Son was born to Magnus di Spoleto and Carlotta von Schwarz. Sadly, he has turned out slow. So will probably not be very useful, Manfredo di Spoleto, except possibly just to get the di Spoleto name into places. Someone's trying to kill Prince Bishop Philibert of Pongau. That's not very nice. That's not Philibert di Spoleto, though, who is not yet a Prince Bishop. Right, yes, okay, we need to withdraw you from Tuscany because you've flattened her, or possibly flattered her quite comprehensively. She is now, I think, solidly at plus 100. Where's she gone? Maybe I've raised her troops and so she's right at the bottom of this list now. That's plus 100. So let's find someone else worthwhile. Duke of Milan wants cheering. just in case we need them. And this one seems to be going all right. Maybe it's not. Peasants are complaining about Steward Alfonso's arbitrariness. Oh dear. Was that a mistake? He is arbitrary. Feel that he doesn't really understand the concept of rules and laws. Which my response is, they shouldn't be bothering me about it. Peasants will complain to Steward Alfonso instead. Okay. Right. Battle of Salerno was a victory, which apparently is not worth any war score. Because I think it was officially not our battle. It was officially a battle he was getting into with someone completely other. Looks like Hungary and Bavaria are busy sitting on one another's territory. Count Rochus of Benevento accepted Duke Ewan of Salerno's peace offer after he imprisoned a bunch of people. So I think that means that Evan got to keep his duchy. See, the thing is, I'm going to get much more war score from these sieges than you are. What's your face? Someone fabricating a claim on the Duchy of Rugen. Oh dear, the Company of the Hat are in trouble there. Venice have hired a bunch of troops. So they've now got substantially more than the Company of the Hat. Now the Company of the Hat have a pretty decent amount of money too. Right. Oh, someone's declaring a revolt or something. How's Greater Poland doing? Oh, they're not at war with any of my vassals anymore. That's interesting. The cook complained to me about my friend Richarda's temper tantrums. Apparently she's punched her son in the face again. The kid shows spirit. Make her wroth. Lots of martial. Bit of shortage of intrigue and diplomacy. You can encourage her to be more patient, which will probably remove wrath, might give her patience. We can pray for her, which gets us prestige, but not much else. Let's encourage patience. She has become patient. That's probably for the best. Yeah, on the other hand, Venice may run out of money rather easily. Oh, looks like Bavaria's going to win a battle against Hungary there. Lots of people being ransomed. A dissolving non-aggression pact. Still can't ransom any of my prisoners. Company of the Hat are about to lose another battle. Oh dear. I fear that we will not have a landed Company of the Hat. Okay, I don't know why Prince Dietvin has exiled Bogomil. Sadly, Frederica is not well blessed by her genetics. Yeah, we should probably be trying to work out how to take Amalfi off the Byzantine Empire, shouldn't we? Because it would be very profitable if we could. I mean, I think actually I have a de jure claim on it, so I only need the Byzantine Empire to, say, foolishly leave a defensive pact against me. But maybe don't route through the enemy. I think I'm going to need more troops if I want to do that. Go that way. That's nice. He's become a mastermind theologian, apparently. The constant quarrels with Kaiser Nils and his adulterous affairs brought me to boiling point. If I ever loved him, that love has disappeared with this latest betrayal. What latest betrayal? Who's he off with now? No lovers known to us. Kaiser Nils and Kaiserin Edda become bitter rivals. Right. That's kind of weird. Alan Strathern, King Alan the Usurper of Norway, has joined a defensive pact. We haven't expanded our territory for ages. Yeah, take her off my hands. I don't have a use for her. And then you join a defensive pact against me. How rude. Yeah, he's besieged one of mine. That's really not of much relevance. That's probably going to have been fairly good for his war score. Yes. Foggia is conveniently farmland, so that's an excellent place to have a battle. Let's just wait until we finish this siege and then go over and hit Foggia. Hit the Calabrian army in Foggia, rather. My nephew Lothar has come of age. Well, that's probably good. Now says Duke Inigo of Bavaria. Let's see if this works all right. It's slightly closer than I would have liked. Doing all right at the harassing stage. Even better at melee. Oh dear! My son Dietvin. During the Battle of Foggia, the enemy cornered my son, my commander and my son, Prince Dietvin of the Holy Roman Empire. What was he doing in a battle? He only had 8 martial. He was meant to be there symbolically. He wasn't meant to actually go out and join battles. The symbols of high rank on his uniform apparently went unnoticed until a soldier stumbled over his corpse. He is not currently my heir, no, but he was like my intended eventual heir if I lived that long. So it's certainly a slight problem. Well, it's a good job we're getting a county to give to our second son. So I could decide to avenge him, in which case I become the rival of Leon, commander of Capua. Well, yeah, I think I will avenge you, dear son. Bunch of odd non-aggression pacts dissolving as a result of that. Right, the Pope is upset with our law of free investiture. The Holy Father is asking us to change it to comply with church doctrine. So, I could implement papal investiture. No, really, I don't think so. I could insist I rule in my realm, pissing off the Pope. Or I could donate 200 gold to the church in order to silence them, which would not harm opinion or piety or moral authority. Let's go for some gold for now. Yes, I'm kind of in charge of the Pope, but that doesn't mean he can't have his own opinions, sadly. So, I'm quite well endowed with rivals now. Well, let's appoint my other son then. Who is my other son? Eckhart. Sadly, a misguided warrior, but with solid diplomacy. And betrayed through a sadly imprisoned genius. Anyway, it's really terrible learning, though. I mean, yes, I'd like him to get piety, of which he has none at the moment. He really does have terrible piety and terrible learning. I can do so much better. It's kind of tempting to make the Pope my thing. He's got terrible piety, terrible learning too. There aren't really any good candidates around. Possibly because someone has been failing to breed for it. Sorry, let's appoint Eckhart so we can get him some piety. For now, he can research cultural tech at home. Right, okay, that battle is going all right. And is actually our battle, which should help. The church wants to organise a miracle play for a local saint in our domain. They seem to feel it should fall on our soldiers to pay for it. Yeah, go on. I mean, I'm still a long way off 2,000 piety, mind. Look, I've only just appointed Eckhart. I rule in the Holy Roman Empire. Adriano of Ivrea has inherited the county of Petau. That's nice. Duchess Gerhild of Thurgau seeks to kill Henfried Huppeldinger. Oh, excellent. The heir to the Duchy of Thurgau is now actually a Dispoleto. And we're getting a nice lot of ticking war score from controlling Foggia. I think we may as well carry on and have another battle. My prisoner, Dozagada Talava, has come of age in my dungeon, but sadly her chief has no money. He has 1 money. Might just release all of them for the piety, actually. Like something like 5 piety each. So, oh, but do I actually get any piety since they're? Yeah, I think I might not get any piety if I release them. I mean, we can test it. I don't have a demand religious conversion option, though, not send gift. So I currently have 1100 piety. And I still have 1100 piety, so yes, I don't gain anything by releasing her. Duke Federigo of Milan is now up to 93 opinions, so we can probably move our Chancellor to... This is slightly confused because I've got troops raised, but probably to the Kingdom of Frisia. Which will be there. Egbert, a random kinsman, but not like I have any children who need educating. Quite tempting now I'm a rival of my husband's to send him off to be a bishop somewhere. Well, for now I'll educate Egbert. We may find someone else to do it later. Oh, I will. Oh, he's got a narrow flank advantage in the middle. Don't think it'll save him though. Right, I'm glad that oh, I need a new commander, of course, because my nominal commander, Dietvin, became a little less nominal. I mean, Egbert actually has decent martial score, so let's get him some prestige. My friend Ricciardo was bitten by a snake this morning. Brave little fool keeps seeking out danger. Do I encourage that, which will make sure that she stays brave? Praise her bravery, or tell her that caution must temper courage. Oh, be brave. Right. I have apparently captured Dragoman, who is probably of very little interest, but yes. Let's move him to house arrest and see if that makes him popular enough to be ransomed. No. This is enforce our demands and get Fodger back. Okay, we're not officially in friendly territory yet. Right. Let us grant him the county of Fodger in the hope that he will become where is she imprisoned then? Imprisoned by the High Chief of Mazovia. I can't actually declare war to get her back though, because she's not my vassal. Ooh. The Hashashin, the elusive order of assassins, have expanded their influence into Syria. A branch of their sect has established itself in the mountain fortress of Masyaf, from where they control the surrounding countryside. All across the Holy Land, the assassins are now hunting those they see as obstacles to their obscure plan. Grand Headmaster Hassan the Wise of Fedayeen. Perhaps these Hashashin should be taken seriously. I don't have a casus belli though. So, how are the wars going that we're paying vague attention to? The war by the Hat invasion of Croatia has sadly failed. King Hupold is doing pretty well at taking back Wien. Oh dear, the poor High Chief of Greater Poland is in continuing trouble. And like his territory is fairly firmly occupied. Today my husband Niels asked me for a fief of his own to govern. He's my rival. I don't think so. I can promise to arrange it, or I can mention a church career and annoy him even more. Like, yes, there is a distinct danger. That I might just end up giving him a church career. Which, like, would get him out of my hands. Not that good. Oh, we have the genius Adelheid di Spoleto. Well, I should probably be the one teaching her then. Let's find someone else for Egbert. How about Philibert? That wasn't... Oh dear, pause. That wasn't the button I wanted. Right, Lothar now will shortly have wife. The Mayor of Foggia has become Catholic. Excellent. What's our religious situation at the moment? We still have 2 oddities down there. Let's send my not very good court chaplain down there to proselytise. Yes, I don't think there's a button to say a commander shouldn't lead armies, except that I can do it if they're my court chaplain, which I should probably have done. Oh well, sorry. Sorry, Dietvin. Died gloriously in battle. Left a daughter, Countess Friederica of Upper Silesia. Everyone thinks they make a better court chaplain than Prince Eckhart, and it's not like they're wrong, but I rule in the Holy Roman Empire. Rather, oh no, right, he would, okay, Eckhart would inherit Upper Silesia if Friederica dies, which I suppose makes sense. We need to get Constantia out of prison somehow. Like, we can't ransom her. I mean, we could send a gift to the Chief of Skara just so that he has some money. We'd have to send quite a lot of gifts before he would be able to ransom her, though, and he might have other uses for the money. Kind of infuriating, that. So, yes, we kind of organised our succession and then kind of lost it again when Dietwin accidentally ended up dying in battle. We've successfully, mostly not with my effort, but with the effort of my vassals, acquired some territory up there. Oh, let's let King Hupold get himself up to 100% war score before we stop for the night. He's at 97%. Surely he can do this. %. Go on, finish the war, Hupold. Increase our my little kinswoman Adelheid. Oops, I didn't mean to click a button. Adelheid has just become zealous. Well, that's often helpful. We should find her a husband. My liege, during my mission to Friesland so far has been a success. During my visit to the court of King Leopold of Frisia, I seem to have managed to make him understand what a benevolent and kind ruler you are, etc., etc. Right, excellent. %, opinion. Next. Ewin of Salerno really needs cheering. Why does he hate me so much? Elector titles held. Oh, is that because I hold too many elector titles in Sicily? Okay. Well, let's send my Chancellor down there. Oh, I can't. Not until July. Let's see if Hupold can win his war. Okay. Aha! King Arpad Erna of Hungary accepted King Hupold the Just's peace offer. Bavarian-Hungarian de jure war over Wien has ended. King Hupold of Bavaria won. Nudged up our threat a little bit, but not very much. So Wien is now part of the Holy Roman Empire. Have like 10 days before we can move Ealdwine. We now have an Augustin di Spoleto. Not in any way exciting. Let's send this guy to Salerno. Right, so that's now organised. So many weak claims that I would not dare to press. We have, though, yes, gained some territory up here, gained Wien, gained threat, well, maybe not net threat, as it were. Lost one heir, one potential heir. So Hupold is getting a bit old, isn't he? He's still popular, but he does get a minus 15 too old penalty in most places. I think Salerno's problem is that complaint is that I hold too many titles. Possibly in Sicily, but Sicily's doesn't exist. Oh, it does exist, okay. Yeah. I suppose I hold Latium and Spoleto. No, but Latium's in Romagna, surely. As is Spoleto. I don't. Ooh, maybe it's complaining. He's complaining about my titles in Romagna, in Italia. Then be a bit odd. Oh well. Anyway, so yes, we have sadly lost one of our planned successors, but Duke Antonio of Couretienne is coming up nicely. He will be quite fun. Yeah, he didn't get a really good education, sadly. But yes, I think we can. He might be a reasonable next target, and we should have a look at his children next time and work out if any of them need to be married. So that will be all for tonight. We will might see you on Sunday, depending on whether Ian is rusting elves, and otherwise it might be next Friday. Meanwhile, good night.